Hello, my YouTube subscriber, fellow analyst who has been looking for the best way to understand reference. You've been having difficulties understanding reference. You've watched different videos, you've not been able to understand. Even your instructor explained reference to you, you didn't understand. You go through diverse materials just to ensure you understand reference. Don't worry, search no more. Data drive inside is there for you, and we got you covered. Now, due to what our fellow subscribers has been complaining about, which is understanding reference. So what I feel I'm going to do today is I'm going to break reference down into smaller particles just for you to understand. So follow through this section, and I'm sure by the end of the section you'll be happy you watched the video. So what again is reference? In Excel we have what is called reference, and it is the key to working smartly. It's the key to working smartly and efficiently. So we have three type of reference. We have relative reference, we have absolute reference, and we have mixed reference. So let's go down to our Excel sheet again. I've prepared a folder for that, which is reference. We have reference. So let's open the reference Excel sheet. Then again, as we are opening the Excel work, as I'm opening the Excel sheet, try to go down to my video comment where I have the description. Look at the description and click on the link right there. The link will also take you to the folder created for what? For reference. So once you are able to open the folder, you should be able to follow through. So back on what we have here, so you can see we have just three sheets. We have the relative reference, we have the absolute reference, and we have the mixed reference. So what are the things necessary to know? The default Excel setting is what? Relative reference. Let's observe. By definition, for us to get to revenue is what? Price times quantity, right? Let me just put it in brackets somewhere around here. No, escape. So let me just copy, cut, then right here, let me just put the symbol. We know revenue is what? Price times quantity. That will give us our revenue. So since we have our quantity sold and we have our unit price, so for us to get our revenue, we can easily use relative referencing without disturbing ourselves. All we just need to do is just press equals, then unit price in relative form, multiply by the quantity sold in relative form, then press OK. That is just simple relative referencing without no dollar sign. Take note of that. We don't have any dollar sign at all. So once you fill this down, automatically highlight the empty cells, then press Ctrl D. That is the first way you can easily fill down, or you can easily just let's delete again. There are times you are dealing with large data set, so you can just double tap on this small box right here. So once you double click, it automatically also fill down. So this is simple relative referencing. Referencing what? E6 and D6. It's as simple as that. You can say Excel is not hard. It's just that you don't understand the rudiment, you don't understand the fundamental. So where we have E6 multiplied by D6 is telling us that okay, we are relatively referencing E6, we are not fixing anything. Then also multiply by D6, which is giving us what? Our revenue. So it means now the fruit store gets a revenue of 2004. Let's also format this. How do we format? Don't worry, there's a video again that talks about you building your own custom format. You can easily search through our YouTube channel, you surely find that. But right here, let's just do a preset format. So you highlight the revenue column, then press Ctrl 1. Once you press Ctrl 1, it's going to show you the format cell, or you can easily just come right here under the home tab, So click on this small icon. Also, if you click on that same icon, it's going to give you the same tab. Then just come to where you have your currency. Let's wait a little bit while it's still loading. So once it's done loading, just try to locate your currency. Under the currency tab, change it to your local currency. Whatever your local currency is, if you are dealing with naira, use naira. If you are dealing with rupees, use rupees. If you are dealing with dollars or pound, just come down to what currency. We have the symbols there. So change it to the symbols you feel is your precise standard or preferred one. I am interested in my local currency, which is what, which is naira. So let me use my Igbo naira. Let me use the Yoruba naira as the Yoruba guy. So let me use the Yoruba. Then I don't want any decimal place. Take note. You can see the sample how it's going to look like. 2004.200. No, I don't want. So just remove the decimal place, then press OK. You can see we have it in our currency aspect. So you can also copy this. This is also in monetary terms, which is unit price. So Alt ES after highlighting, take note. Then paste as what, as format. So after you've done that, that is just simple relative reference. So I believe now you understand relative reference. So let's go to the absolute reference. Let's go to the absolute reference. So in the absolute reference, what do we need to do? From the word absolute, firstly let's calculate our revenue once again. So instead of doing a manual calculation, let me just copy, then let's paste as format, Alt ES as format. Good. Then copy again, Alt ES. If you don't want to use the Alt ES function, you can easily just come to the paste here, then click on paste special. It also give you the same rule. So once you've done that again, you can easily just click on format, then click OK. Good, we are all on the same page. So again, I don't want to stress myself. I don't like stress. So copy once again, then come right here, then press Alt ES again, then paste it as formulas. Automatically we have our calculations, you can see. Then lastly, let's just copy and paste as formats. So once we've done that, the last thing we need to do is now calculate our total. What's the total revenue? All you need to do is just press Alt. Press your Alt key down, then press equals. Alt equals, you can see it sums automatically. But if you are still not satisfied with that, you can use the normal sum function. So you use equals sum, open brackets, then highlight the revenue region, close your bracket and press enter. So you have the total revenue for the fruit store. So the fruit store was able to make 14,550 naira revenue. So now we want to know the percentage of what each, we want to know each revenue percentage of total. So what can we use here? Here we can't use relative. That is the next question. We can't use relative. We need to use part of absolute and part of what, relative. So what do we do? Very simple. Just come right there, press your equal sign, ensure you reference your F5, which is your first revenue for cucumber, relatively divided by, then you now come down to your total region, then press F4. Once you press your F4, it has $sign before F and $sign after F. If you don't want to use that sign, you can easily just type in your $sign manually. So once you type it manually, what this means is that It means we are absolutely referencing F11. What is the word absolute means? From the word absolute, it means we fixed it to that cell. We have fixed our cell, meaning that we don't want F11 to change. Even if F5 is changing, if we fill it to the right, it can change. F5 can change, but F11 should be fixed. Let's practicalize that. I'm coming, let's just use just normal reference without calculating our percentage of total. Press F4. Good. So if you press F4, if I fill this down, now we have what? 14,515, which is now bypassing the relative default setting. You can see. So if I keep filling it down, I should keep having the same what? I should keep having the same result. It's as simple as this. So you can see we have the same result all through. That is why we call it absolute reference. It fixed that specific cell. It absolutely fixed it. So once we've done that, the last thing we just need to do is just format ourselves from general to percentage. So press your control 1 again. So after you press your control 1, just come down to percentage, change that to percentage, then leave it in decimal place you preferred best. You might leave it as 1, you might leave it as 2, you might also prefer 4, but I am interested in just 2. Then I need to press OK. So we can see cucumber contribute 16.49% of what, of the total revenue for the fruit store. So just fill down, highlight it down, then press Ctrl D. Then we have our values. So you can see the reason why absolute reference is ideal and it is very good. So meet you in the next section again. Let's go to the next part. So we have mixed referencing. So in the mixed referencing, we have it in two forms. We have the row reference. We have what we call row reference, and we have what we call column reference. Very good. We have column reference. So now let's start with row reference. From the word row reference, see it as just you referencing this row. I use my shift space to highlight the entire row. So you just see it as you referencing this row, referencing row 4, meaning that if you switch or if you fill it down, you should keep on showing this your what, row 4. It's as simple as that. You can see it's very good. So let's check how can we do that. How can we do that? First basic you need to understand is that our alphabet denote columns. A, B, C, D, E, F to the last number are what? Are columns. So wherever you see alphabet, it means what? Column. Then wherever you see numbers, it means rows. Take note of that. It is really, really essential in what we want to do. So press your equals to. Let's start with this. We want to reference this. We want to ensure that we fix that row. So it's as simple as that. So once you press your F, press your equals B4. If you fill this to the right, take note. You can see we are seeing the relative aspect. And if you fill it down, how do we know it is relative aspect? It keep on changing based on our fill, but we don't want it to change to cell 5, row 5 at all. We want to stick to the same row of what, row 4, but this is not happening. So what we need to do is very simple. There are some calculations that requires that. So just ensure you press your F4 once. This is the absolute reference. If you can see it, let me zoom in a little bit. So everyone can be on the same page. So good. So we have B4, good. F4, absolute reference first. So if I press F4 again, now I'm in row reference, which is part of mixed reference. So if I press enter, then fill this to the right. Take note, all I said I want to be seeing is what? I want to be seeing just only items or values in row 4. So once I fill this down, it should keep still showing me row 4. We can see it's still showing me values in row 4. If I keep filling down, it's still showing what? Row 4. So that is what we call row referencing. That is what we call row referencing. So going forward, we have the column referencing or the column reference. So in the column reference, it's just very simple. It's just the same thing. We want to fix this column, which is column C. I want to fix column C. That is my objective. I want a calculation that fix just only column C. You should have seen that when I was doing my VLOOKUP. If you have gone through my VLOOKUP function, if you have gone through the maybe the X lookup, the H lookup, the index match, you would have seen me practice stuff related to that. So we have again reference the cell C, then ensure your dollar sign again is before C, which is before the alphabet. Alphabet stand for what? Column. Take note of that. So once you've done that, if you fill this to the right, you know it's meant to go beyond that C column. No, it won't. It means you've referenced that column. But if you fill it down, it keep on changing. You can see it's keep on changing. So that is just simple as that. You understanding mixed reference, row reference, absolute reference, um, column reference, and relative reference. It's just as simple as that. If you can understand just this rudiment, you are good to work efficiently and smartly and effectively. Take note of that. So see you in the next section. Thank you.